Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today, hold on tight, because we're going to explore a topic that, believe me, will make you raise an eyebrow, then another, and perhaps even make you doubt what you think you know about the human body. Imagine eyes that glow in the night like a cat's, skin that transforms into tree bark, or even a body that literally possesses two distinct DNAs. Yes, you heard right. Nature sometimes likes to have fun. It takes its brushes, mixes colors that aren't even found on our palette, and creates living works of art. Human beings who are so unique, so extraordinary, that they seem to have come straight out of a science fiction novel, when they are right here among us. Real stories, bodies that defy understanding, lives that remind us how vast and full of surprises the world is. Prepare to be dazzled, intrigued, and perhaps even a little moved. Let's dive together into the fascinating world of 10 people with physical characteristics so rare they are almost magical. Are you ready? Let's embark on a journey into the heart of the incredible. Number 10, Taylor Mule, the Chimera Woman. So, to kick off our top 10, we have an absolutely mind-blowing story. Imagine you're living your life, you have a strange birthmark, something that makes you a little different, and then one day you discover it's not just a mark on your skin. No. It's proof that you are literally two people in one. That's the case of Taylor Mule. When she was young, she had this strange demarcation on her skin, like a darker half. For years, doctors said it was just a birthmark. But at age 20, a stronger intuition, a more tenacious curiosity pushed her to dig deeper. And there, a monumental surprise. She was diagnosed with tetragrammatic chimerism. What does that mean, in simple terms? It means Taylor was born from the early fusion of two fraternal twin embryos. It's as if, right at the beginning of her intrauterine life, two little beings met, merged, and gave birth to a single person. But the result? She has two distinct sets of DNA in her body, two different blood groups, and even two coexisting immune systems. And sometimes, these two immune systems don't get along very well. They can fight, consider the other half of the body as foreign. As a result, Taylor had to face immense challenges, incredible allergies to everything related to food, jewelry, medications, even insect bites. It's her own body that sometimes puts her in danger. It's pure duality. And when she learned this, it was a mixture of shock, but most of all relief. Finally, she understood why she sometimes felt so different, why her body reacted in such a peculiar way. She decided to share her story in 2016 to raise public awareness about chimerism, to promote self-acceptance, and to show that being different is not a weakness, but a strength. She broke barriers, spoke on television platforms, and inspired thousands of people to celebrate their own peculiarities. Taylor, she chose to love and defend her two DNAs. Her quote was incredible. "The most incredible truths are not science fiction. They are in human biology." And frankly, that perfectly summarizes her story. It's crazy, isn't it? Number 9, Stefan Babrowski, the Lion Man. We continue our exploration with a figure who, on her own, could serve as the basis for a period film. Have you ever heard of Cabinet of Curiosities? Spectacles where beings with unusual appearances were exhibited? Well, Stefan Babrowski was part of that. He was known as Lionel, the man with the lion's face. Stefan was born in Poland in 1890 with a condition called hypertrichosis, nicknamed the werewolf syndrome. Basically, it's excessive hair growth, but on a, let's say, spectacular level. His hair covered almost his entire body, including his face. Some legends say his mother was so traumatized by the sight of her husband being attacked by a lion during her pregnancy that she attributed her son's appearance to that traumatic event. Crazy, right? At just 4 years old, his mother abandoned him to a German impresario who would turn him into an attraction. He joined the famous Barnum and Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth in the United States. Imagine the spectacle. A face completely covered in long hair, some reaching up to 20 centimeters. His entire body was covered in a fur of almost 10 centimeters, except for his palms and the soles of his feet. But what's truly fascinating about Stefan is that behind that appearance, which could be frightening, there was a man of remarkable intelligence. He was multilingual, he loved the show, he performed acrobatic feats and interacted with the public. He spoke 5 languages and, most incredibly, he dreamed of becoming a dentist. It's a striking contrast between the cruelty of circus exploitation at that time and Stefan's personality. He himself said that if he were rid of his hair, he would be just an ordinary man. It reminds us that appearance can be so deceiving and that behind others' eyes, there is always a person with their own dreams and personality. Stefan Babrowski, the Lion Man, a true lesson in humanity hidden beneath extraordinary hairiness. Number 8. Karolina Kurova, the Naval Mystery. We're changing gears completely to move into the world of haute couture. You know Karolina Kurova, that absolutely stunning Czech model who has graced catwalks around the world, who has appeared on the covers of all the major magazines. Well, Karolina has a little secret, a peculiarity that has caused a lot of ink to flow. She doesn't have a belly button. Or rather, she has a scar where her belly button should be. So, how does that happen? Experts believe she must have undergone surgery at a very young age, probably to correct an umbilical hernia or a malformation like gastroschisis. These conditions can cause the belly button to not form correctly. The mystery came to light around 2008 during a shoot for Victoria's Secret. The photographers and makeup artists realized something was missing. And then, in an industry that seeks absolute perfection, where every detail is scrutinized, they began to retouch her photos. Yes, they added a fake belly button without even asking her opinion. Karolina herself described the spot as a little dimple with a slight scar. It's crazy, isn't it? The idea that in an image-obsessed industry, a part of a person's identity can be erased to conform to a norm. But today, Karolina is a fulfilled mother and fully embraces this peculiarity. She is part of this growing movement that encourages celebrating all body types to destigmatize imperfections. She talks about her journey from concealment to acceptance, and it's a super positive message. It shows us that even in the glamorous and seemingly perfect world of fashion, there is room for uniqueness and for stories like this. She is living proof that you don't need a traditional belly button to be a star and an icon. Number 7. Megan Fox, the mysterious thumbs. We're staying in the celebrity world with a Hollywood star that everyone knows, Megan Fox. You know her for her roles in blockbusters, but she's also known for her thumbs. Yes, her thumbs. Now, nothing serious, rest assured. Megan Fox has brachydactyly, type D. Simply put, her thumbs are shorter and wider than average, giving them a slightly peculiar shape that strongly resembles that of big toes. It's a fairly common peculiarity, affecting about 4% of the population. But even with her status as a Hollywood superstar, Megan has admitted that she sometimes felt self-conscious about her thumbs. So much so that she supposedly used a double for her thumbs during a Super Bowl commercial. It's still quite incredible to think about. She herself says she doesn't understand the obsession with it, that she has much stranger flaws. Her attitude towards this is super interesting. She dismisses the topic with a wave of her hand, calling it brainwashing. She reminds us that even the most beautiful people in the world have their little quirks, and that perfection isn't a one-size-fits-all thing, and what makes you different can also make you unforgettable. Megan Fox, with her singular thumbs, is a great example of this idea. Number 6. Kesha, the star with a tail. Get ready, because this one will surprise you. Pop singer Kesha, known for her catchy hits, once shared a pretty wild anecdote about her birth. When she said she was born with a tail, everyone thought it was a joke. But no, it was true. Kesha recounted that at birth, she had a small tail a few centimeters long. Doctors surgically removed it when she was a baby. She jokes, "They stole my tail." But seriously, what is this story? It's a small, vestigial tail. In all human embryos, a small tail forms, but it usually disappears before birth. In very rare cases like Kesha's, remnants can persist. It's a fascinating trace of our evolution. She even said she was sad it was removed. It's pretty crazy to think that a global star like Kesha has a story like this. It makes us ask the question, how many of us have little hidden peculiarities, traces of our evolutionary past that we ignore? Kesha's story reminds us that our bodies sometimes carry secrets much older than us, and that what may seem strange or embarrassing to us is actually part of our incredible human heritage. Number 5. Lizzie Velasquez, strength in apparent fragility. We now move on to a person whose story is a true punch of emotion and inspiration. Lizzie Velasquez. If you see her very slender figure, her face, you might at first glance think of a very fragile person. But Lizzie is the very definition of strength. She was born with an extremely rare genetic syndrome, progeroid lipodystrophy Marfanoid syndrome. Simply put, her body cannot store fat. Absolutely not. Since birth, she has weighed barely more than 25 kilograms, even while eating 5,000 to 8,000 calories a day. Her stomach is so small that she never feels full. She has to eat every 20 to 30 minutes to survive. Her childhood was particularly difficult. The teasing at school was terrible. She was called a monster, and worse. But Lizzie transformed this suffering into incredible energy. She became a motivational speaker, an author, an anti-bullying activist. She gave a TED Talk that went viral, testified before Congress, and inspired millions of people. She tells us, don't let appearances fool you. Lizzie's strength is not measured in weight, but in spirit. And that's so true. Her journey is a poignant testament to resilience, courage, and the power of the human spirit in the face of extreme adversity. She reminds us that true greatness lies not in physical perfection, but in inner strength. Number 4. Joseph Merik, the Elephant Man Beyond the Monster. We're going back in time a bit to talk about a historical figure who left a mark on people's minds. Joseph Merik, the man called the Elephant Man. Born in England in 1862, Joseph wasn't born with these deformities. It was around the age of 5 that his body began to transform dramatically. He developed massive bone and skin growths, thick skin resembling that of an elephant, a disproportionate skull, and severely deformed limbs. At the time, medical science was in its infancy. After being abandoned by his family, he was forced to join the circuit of curiosity shows to survive. Today, it's believed he suffered from Proteus syndrome, an extremely rare condition that causes excessive growth of skin, bones, and tissues. Later research couldn't confirm this 100%, but the theory remains plausible. When the show promoter, Tom Norman, exhibited him in London under the name the Elephant Man, a surgeon, Dr. Frederick Trevis, discovered him. Trevis, moved by his story, managed to get him out of the world of attractions and offer him refuge at the London hospital. Joseph spent the last 6 years of his life in a more humane environment, under the care and affection of the medical staff. He even formed a deep friendship with Dr. Trevis. He received visits from high society figures and found a form of recognition and belonging, despite the racism and prejudice of the time. Joseph Merik died at 27, likely from an accidental domestic incident related to his condition. His story is heartbreaking. It shows us the cruelty of exploitation, but also the capacity for compassion and humanity that can emerge even in the darkest situations. Joseph Merik was not a monster. He was a man who aspired to be seen and respected for who he was, beyond his appearance. A story that changed the Victorian society's view on disability. Number 3. Abul Bajandar, the tree man. Imagine your own skin transforming into a rough bark, covered with growths resembling roots that literally prevent you from moving, working, holding your child in your arms. That's the nightmarish reality experienced by Abul Bajandar, a man from Bangladesh nicknamed the Tree Man. Abul Bajandar began to notice strange warts on his hands and feet in adolescence. These warts evolved into enormous nodules, like bark, which eventually covered almost everything, making him unable to use his hands. He is one of the few people in the world diagnosed with epidermodysplasia versiformis, EV, a rare genetic disease that weakens the immune system against certain types of HPV, leading to these uncontrollable bark-like growths. At age 25, his life had become hell. He couldn't eat, brush his teeth, or move. His family was devastated, unable to care for him. Fortunately, in 2016, surgeons in Dhaka undertook a long reconstruction process. After 16 operations, they removed nearly 5 kilograms of growths from his hands and feet. And the result? Incredible. His hands regained their functionality. He can eat, write, and most importantly, hug his daughter. Abul Bajandar is perhaps the first person to regain full use of his hands after this devastating disease. His case is a true medical milestone and a symbol of hope. He chose surgery over abandonment, and in doing so, he redefined what was possible in medicine and demonstrated the extraordinary power of human resilience. Number 2. Supatra Sasufan, the girl with golden hair. We often talk about fairy tales with perfect princesses, but reality is sometimes far more extraordinary. Supatra Sasufan, a young woman from Thailand, was born with an incredibly rare condition, Ambrus syndrome. This syndrome is a genetic mutation that causes excessive hair growth all over the body. She was nicknamed the hairiest girl in the world. From birth, doctors noticed this hairiness, and her family was shocked. She was even given surgeries to help her breathe. She was mocked at school, called wolf girl or monkey face. That's tough, isn't it? But Supatra was fortunate to have a loving family who refused to consider her different. She grew up confident, outgoing, loving school, singing, dancing, and dreaming of becoming a doctor. In 2010, she was even recognized by Guinness World Records as the hairiest teenager in the world. Despite the failure of laser treatments, she remained positive. She said, "I don't feel different," and that she had many friends at school. Now in her 20s, Supatra has chosen to shave her face and has gotten married. She has publicly shared her joy and love. Today, she is unrecognizable, radiating confidence and fully embracing her uniqueness. Her journey is an incredible testament to self-acceptance and resilience. She has transformed what could have been a burden into a powerful symbol of strength, community, and love. She shows us that our beauty comes from within, regardless of the amount of hair. Number 1. David Tennant, the extraordinary doctor. We conclude our list with a British television star, famous for portraying the Doctor in Doctor Who, David Tennant. Beneath his chic appearance and charm, he hides a little peculiarity. He has an extra toe on his right foot. David Tennant was born with polydactyly, a congenital condition that literally means multiple fingers or toes. His sixth toe is a small protrusion right next to his big toe. It's a fairly common condition, affecting about 1 in 500 to 1,000 births. Sometimes it's genetically transmitted, sometimes it's just a random occurrence during fetal development. Most of the time, these extra fingers or toes are not functional and do not cause health problems. Families can choose to have them removed for aesthetic reasons or for comfort, but many keep them. What's great about David Tennant is his attitude. He hasn't hidden this peculiarity at all. When asked about it, he simply replied, "Well, now you know," in the most natural way possible. He fully embraces it. And that, frankly, is pretty cool. He shows us that even the most beloved personalities have their little quirks, and that there's no shame in having an extra toe or any other peculiarity that makes you unique. He is proof that owning your differences is the best way to be yourself. Number 11. Subscriber subject. And now, before we conclude, let's take a moment to talk about this image that appears here. Two faces. Let's say, out of the ordinary. They look almost like creatures from another world, or characters from a horror film with a very peculiar aesthetic. It's the kind of image that makes you stop, that grabs your attention, that provokes an immediate reaction. What does it tell us about our perception of beauty, of normality? Is our brain wired to prefer symmetry, familiarity? Or is it that, deep down, this strangeness fascinates us because it breaks from the ordinary, because it forces us to question our own limits? This image, in all its bizarreness, pushes us to reflect on what is different and how we react to that difference. A real question about what it means to be human. And there you have it. We've reached the end of this journey into the heart of the incredible diversity of the human body. These 10 stories, these 10 people, remind us how creative, surprising, and sometimes even a little crazy nature is. From Taylor's double DNA to David Tennant's toes, through the poignant story of Joseph Merik, each individual here is living proof that what makes us different also makes us rich. So, tell me in the comments, which story struck you the most? Is there anyone among these people you'd like to know more about? And you, do you have a physical peculiarity that makes you unique? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences. We love to read them. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more incredible facts about the world and ourselves, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future explorations. Thank you for being with us today. Take care of yourselves, celebrate what makes you special, and we'll see you very soon for a new video.